I mean, people thought my whole trajectory was fake, and sometimes I wake up and I think my whole trajectory is fake, but it's just a testament to taking chances.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Hollywood just went nuclear after Rachel Zegler managed to humiliate the entire industry again. What she pulled behind Spielberg's back on West Side Story wasn't just unprofessional, it was downright foul.
Through the whole thing, this was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension: racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics.
The meltdowns to political tantrums, her smug, unlikable energy has officially crowned her the most unwanted actress in Hollywood. At this point, she's not a rising star, she's a walking PR disaster.
This is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not...
Rachel Zegler, once upon a time, she was Hollywood's shiny new toy, the chosen one, with a golden voice and Twitter fingers dipped in pure smugness. And let's be honest, this girl didn't even have to knock on Hollywood's door.
They ever thought about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Spielberg opened it wide for her. Handpicked from a viral audition video, she went from complete unknown to lead in West Side Story, courtesy of one of the greatest directors alive. Before she could even rent a car, Disney was already fitting her for a $250+ million Snow White remake. That's not a dream come true, that's a cheat code to...
Zegler was supposed to believe is just so striking that even the supermodel like Gal Gadot is supposed to be homicidically jealous of her. I mean, we're supposed to completely suspend our disbelief.
Critics lost their minds. Visionary, they declared. Fresh, they gushed. One reviewer on Rotten Tomatoes practically hailed her as a divine gift. For a moment, the hype made sense, Spielberg was smiling, Disney was grinning, and audiences were curious about the girl with the powerhouse voice and bold brows. But then, she opened her mouth. And not to sing. To talk. That, my friends, was the beginning of her journey from Hollywood's golden child to its most mocked cautionary tale.
She comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the...
Because let's be real, her red carpets didn't stay red for long. They turned into war zones. And instead of gracefully stepping into stardom, Rachel cannonballed into controversy, armed with the kind of arrogance that could make even the Kardashians take notes.
Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantata is the only global...
Her interviews became train wrecks. Her press tours felt like hostage tapes. And her off-screen drama started trending harder than her films. Within months, Hollywood insiders were whispering the one word no actor ever wants attached to their name.
Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
Blacklist. That's right, Spielberg himself was reportedly done with her, calling her horrible to work with. When the man who made E.T., Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List can't even fake a polite compliment during awards season, that's not a red flag, it's a funeral procession.
You don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
And so let's rewind to the West Side Story set, where this all started. Imagine landing the role of a lifetime in a Spielberg musical remake. Most actors would arrive early, stay humble, and soak up wisdom from a legend. Not Rachel. Nope, she allegedly waltzed in like the second coming of Barbra Streisand, with a heavy side of TikTok influencer attitude.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Insiders say she basically started rewriting Maria in her own head, challenging choreography because, apparently, she's a better expert than the actual choreographers. Multiple sources claimed she even stopped production cold because certain moves didn't feel right to her.
Rachel Zegler, she's an asshole.
You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White, right? You should...
And then came the costume drama. She allegedly rejected outfits not because they clashed with the scene or the character, nope, just because they didn't flatter her figure. Forget authenticity, this was about what would look cute in her next Instagram dump. Truly, a groundbreaking approach to professionalism.
As woke as they are.
She just sounds bitter and angry.
But wait, there's more. She clashed with cinematographers. Yes, cinematographers. She was reportedly giving feedback on camera angles like she's Roger Deakins' long-lost granddaughter. And the cherry on top? She allegedly gave editing notes to Steven Spielberg. Let that sink in, a 20-year-old with 0 feature film credits telling a man with multiple Oscars how to cut his scenes. That's not confidence, that's Olympic-level delusion.
Time she speaks, she gets less likable.
This truly is the worst casting, maybe, in the history of the film industry.
According to crew members, Spielberg, known for saint-like patience, was visibly irritated during rehearsals. Privately, he called her one of the most frustrating actors he'd ever worked with. And this is a man who's directed actual children. Publicly? He went ghost. During every press tour and awards speech, he showered Ariana DeBose with affection like a proud parent, while Rachel's name barely made it past his lips. In Hollywood, that's not a PR oversight, it's a silent career assassination. But did Rachel take the hint? Retreat? Reflect? Not a chance. She doubled down.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim. And that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
Fast forward to Disney's Snow White fiasco. The Mouse House poured $250 million into this reboot, banking on another Beauty and the Beast-sized juggernaut. They needed $500 million globally just to break even. And who did they put as the face of this nostalgic goldmine? Rachel, I hate fairy tales, Zegler.
You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Brilliant strategy, Disney. Have your lead actress bash the prince as a stalker and roll her eyes at the concept of true love like she's far too enlightened for such childish nonsense.
Who wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? It's the outrage.
Queen, playing the evil queen. It was pretty amazing.
The backlash wasn't just swift, it was an internet riot. Lifelong Disney fans, generational fans, were instantly like, nah, this ain't it. Her press tour clips oozed with snide condescension, as if she were scolding the audience for daring to love a story that defined their childhood.
The big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
1 minute she's calling the original Snow White outdated, the next she's mocking the prince like romance itself is offensive. Girl, you're playing a princess, not rewriting The Handmaid's Tale. Audiences were already fuming, and then the critics piled on. Candace Owens went nuclear, branding Zegler disturbed, whiny, and unwatchable. And while Owens isn't exactly known for subtlety, even she seemed genuinely baffled that Disney let this girl tank $1 billion IP before a single ticket was sold.
This is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not progressive.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Industry insiders joined the feeding frenzy. One executive allegedly called casting her the worst decision in modern Disney history. Let that sink in, worse than Artemis Fowl. Social media exploded with #NotMySnowWhite trending for days. This wasn't one of those flimsy cancel culture flare-ups, this was a full-on fan mutiny. And no, it wasn't about race, politics, or casting choices.
Would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
It was about the simple fact that the woman cast as Snow White spent months trashing Snow White. What did they expect? If you're getting paid millions to wear a dress and sing in a forest, maybe don't spit on the source material first. Radical concept. Disney, clearly in panic mode, tried to spin the narrative, blaming market conditions and changing audience tastes. Cute excuse. But audiences weren't buying tickets. And they definitely weren't buying merch. They were too busy memeing Rachel into oblivion. There's only so many times you can hear someone complain about how hard it is to wear a costume before the public starts lobbing popcorn at the screen.
All you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
And so here we are. 3 years ago, Rachel Zegler was the future of Hollywood. Now she's the punchline of every podcast, the collective eye roll of every casting room, and the cautionary tale publicists use to scare clients straight from Spielberg's Ghosting to Disney's billion-dollar implosion, she fumbled the bag harder than anyone in recent memory, and the story's only getting juicier.
All of Andrew's could get cut. Like, who are you? Oh my God. Are you Disney? I've read your book, and I have. It's a phenomenal book. You're losing generation of loyal viewers. When you think about Snow White, what is the premise? What is the story?
It's a love story. It's a love story.
It's a dream for a girl to grow up and a man falls in love.
If you thought her behind-the-scenes diva antics were bad, just wait for the front-facing. Social media-fueled self-destruction. Tanking your career with on-set chaos is one thing, but going full scorched earth on Instagram? That's another level of unhinged. The moment she posted, "May you never know peace," to Trump supporters from her verified account, she didn't just cross the line, she lit it on fire and danced on the ashes.
Not entitled to call for Trump supporters to be harmed. Like, you are actually not entitled to do that. And so let me just remind you, Rachel Zegler, of what the map looks like, just so you can understand when your Disney movie is coming out, how many people you are wishing harm upon. Like, this is America right now.
Like, girl, you're the face of a Disney princess movie, not the keynote speaker at a basement political rally with a bad PA system. Who told her openly mocking half the country was a brilliant branding strategy? No one. Because it's not. It's idiotic.
Ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
The media smelled blood. Megyn Kelly practically hosted a televised roast session, ripping Rachel to shreds and calling for a full-scale boycott. And here's the kicker, it worked. Families scrapped movie night. Parents swore off tickets. The Disney Princess reboot morphed into a political war zone, all thanks to Rachel's inability to, how do I put this politely, shut up.
It's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
The more she spoke, the more radioactive she became. She didn't just alienate audiences, she actively offended them, one smug soundbite at a time. Mocking romance? Check. Trashing classic fairy tales? Check. Demanding extra pay because wearing a costume was emotionally draining? Checkmate. She was the full package of PR poison.